Hello again, everybody. This is MrNoobTubeGamer, and I'm coming out with a video that a lot of people, I don't think anybody would ever expect me to make, including the person who is the main focus point of this video. But first, I'm going to just give a shout out to Rags, and I'm sure it's another thing people aren't expecting me to do, because Rags and I have not really been the best of friends, I guess you could say. But he did do something that's very commendable, and I have to call him out for it, or, just give him a shout out for it. Basically, there was this motherfucker who went on my video about Black Bond, the last video I made, and called me a racist for making a video against someone who just happens to be black, right? I didn't say anything racist, I didn't put any, no racial slurs were said. I just, I made a video talking about Black Bond, who is a PC YouTuber, a PC gaming YouTuber, right? Obviously, Rags, he wasn't a big fan of what I said in the video, but you know what? You gotta commend people for standing up for you, even though they disagree with you. So, Rags, I gotta commend you on that. Even though we don't agree with each other on shit, I have respect for you now. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. But Rags isn't really the main mention of this video now. There is another person who is going to be mentioned in this video that, like I said, people would be surprised that I'd say anything positive about this guy too. And this is actually another YouTuber who I've had many disagreements with that I am going to give a shout out to, or not even give a shout out to, just make an apology for, because, I never wronged Rags in any way. Like, I never personally attacked Rags, but L1Games I did personally attack. And I didn't even realize it until just looking back at the comment war we had, back in 2014, and, just the videos I made on him, and, it was very immature of me. And now, if people don't remember, or weren't even subscribed back then, rather, I think when people think of me in 2014, I think the main thing they think about is the whole thing between me and L1Games. So let me just briefly, summarize what happened between us, and how it all started. So basically, there's a YouTuber who I'm sure a lot of people I'm subscribed to are familiar with, named Gligar13. Gligar13 made a video, or two videos, about video game collecting, and how video game collecting kind of hurts the gaming market, right? He made those videos, right? So, and then I saw those videos, and, I agreed with them at the time, and, I showed support, I gave it a like or whatever, and commented or whatever. So, Gligar and I kind of, communicate with each other on and off. We've known each other for 3 years now. I don't know if people know this, but me and Gligar, we're not close, but, we know each other, and we contact each other, every now and then. I haven't talked to him recently, though. I think it's been about 6 months since I've been in contact with Gligar13, only because, A, I don't really use Steam too much, and B, I don't know. Like I said, we're not really that close. But we know each other, we know of each other, and we know each other, and we talk to each other a lot, right? So Gligar was, I was on Steam chat one day. Gligar just sent me a random message, and he's like, oh, look at this guy, he made video about me, because Gligar knows that, I saw his videos, and that I agreed with him. So he sent me a link to, this guy who made a half-hour-long video against Gligar13 vids, and, this is, of course, L1Games who made this video, and, L1Games, in case you guys don't know who he is, or haven't, weren't subscribed to my channel back then, L1Games is basically, he also goes by the name of Muzz, so, I just like to call him L1Games, because whatever. L1Games is actually the name of his business. L1Games is a retro gaming store, Cleveland, Ohio? I know it's some city in Ohio. Maybe it's Cincinnati. It's one of those cities. I'm sorry, I don't remember the city. All I know is that it's Ohio, right? It's Ohio. It's a retro gaming store owned by this guy who goes by the alias Muzz, right? So of course he's gonna make a video about this because this is his business, the whole retro gaming thing. And Gligar13 made videos about how the retro gaming market is, or how retro gamers rather are killing the retro gaming market, right? So yeah, he made this whole response video, and I was just like, wow. I watched the whole thing, I was talking to Gligar, and I'm like, wow, this video is just like freaking. I should make a video about this. So I actually made a video about this, right? I made a video response to L1Games, or Muzz, I guess. And, I don't know, it was roughly maybe a 6 or 7 minute video. Just quick reaction to the video, and, I didn't really expect it to get anywhere, but it got somewhere. It really got a lot of places. So, I checked the video, it got I got 200 views on it on my own before L1Games saw it. But then as soon as L1Games saw it, the video got a good substantial amount of views, because L1Games, or Muzz, or, whatever the fuck you want to call him, he has, I don't know how much he has now. Back then, he had 10,000 subscribers. And he also has a Facebook page, which is very popular because, it's a Facebook page for his business. So, his Facebook page showed a link to my video that I made on him. So, of course, a lot of people saw the video, and they weren't really happy with it. So, it didn't end there. We had a whole comment war with each other. I don't remember the entire contents of it. I remember I read it the other day. But it was something along the lines of, L1Games, we actually had, a logical debate going on, and then it just went downward. I don't know what was going on with me, but I just wasn't gonna have it. I don't know what was going on, but I just, I resorted to calling him a con artist, and among other things. But the con artist part, I think, is the thing that's the worst thing that I've said, actually. Because Muzz is a guy who owns a business. I'm sure he worked very hard to get to where he is now. I'm sure it's not easy to continue managing a business like he does. And I'm sure he did not like that I just referred to him as a con artist. And, I apologize. That's the main thing that I'm apologizing for in this video. I deeply apologize for calling, Muzz a con artist. Because I don't know Muzz. I never been to a store. It was just a horrible assumption to make, and I apologize. Okay, I apologize. All right. So it wasn't just as bad as me calling him a con artist in the comment section. I actually made 2 videos after that calling him a con artist, right? Because, and if you guys are kind of getting confused or lost at this point, the reason why I call him a con artist is because I said that he ripped off his customers, at his retro gaming store, because, I made a horrible assumption, because generally retro gamers, they go on eBay, they go on Amazon, and they charge a shitload of money for retro games, right? They charge a whole bunch of money. They literally, oh my god, it's crazy. You go, you want to get, even, a lot of PS1 games, or, soon-to-be PS2 games, as time goes by. Because right now, PS2 games are very, abundant. They're not rare in supply. But I'm sure they will in a matter of, maybe 3-4 years, maybe even 2 years, who knows, right? But, let's say if you want to get, a Super Nintendo, N64, or any of those other old systems, or even games for those old systems, sometimes the games go for more money than the actual systems themselves, which I think is absolutely crazy, right? It's so hard to get a retro game, and to collect retro games is it's gonna cost you a fortune. I don't know how the Angry Video Game Nerd did it back in the day, but he did it, right? I'm sure he spent a lot of money, right? But anyway, so yeah, I called him a con artist because I made a generalization about him, just because he's a retro game collector and he sells retro games, that I assumed that he was a con artist, right? Because, don't get me wrong, there actually are a lot of retro gamers that are con artists, that try to rip people off, right? But it is what it is. You have emulators, you have whatever. If you really don't like it, get the emulators, and that's what I did, So, then it proceeded to, me having a debate with L1Games. And, we had, like, an actual logical discussion. We had, like, a civil discussion, because there was a debate moderator. We had a pretty good debate going. The debate's on my channel, actually. Type in MrNoobTubeGamer versus L1Games, or I think it's something along those lines. It's basically the first, and I think only, live debate I've ever been in. And I'm looking to have more debates with people soon. Don't get me wrong, right? I'm looking forward to having debates with people on PC gaming, having debates with people on Nintendo and other gaming stuff, and even political matters on my political channel. Such as my stance is that transgender people are mentally ill, and why feminism isn't for equality. I want to have debates on a whole bunch of these topic matters, right? In the future, but so far, the debate I had with L1Games, or Muzz, is the only debate I've had so far. Only live debate, right? So, yeah, you think it would end there. First of all, I never apologized to him, ever, so that's the main reason why I'm making this video, but, also the fact that, we were getting along for a while until I made a video about the debate, because they had a panel of judges that were judging the debate, and they basically said, oh, Muzz won the debate hands down, I was just like, wow, really? Like, really? You know what I mean? I was just frustrated, so I made a video on that. And I don't know if I still refer to him as a con artist at that moment, but all I remember is that I never apologized to L1Games for what I did, just because I know it really bothered him that I said that. I know it did, because I think he said it before. The one thing I will say is ridiculous is that, I don't think he did, but a whole bunch of, people that he's associated with, said that, that they're gonna, that L1Games is gonna sue me or some shit, or, it's so ridiculous. I was, like, a 15-year-old kid back in the day, when that whole thing happened. You're gonna sue a 15-year-old kid who said something on the internet? I think that aspect of the whole thing was ridiculous. Because people were threatening to sue me, or you're gonna get a lawsuit, and it was just like, really? You're gonna sue a 15-year-old kid? First of all, I was gonna say good luck with that, because you're not gonna win the lawsuit, because they're gonna sue for, defamation of character, and, defamation of, the business or whatever. I'm pretty sure that me calling him a con artist, though, never hurt, his sales. I'm pretty sure. Unless he releases numbers that, me calling him a con artist a few times, hurt his sales numbers. But I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. Regardless, though, I think it's just the right thing to just man up. It's been almost 2 years since this happened. I should man up, apologize to this guy for, causing a whole scene and not being as civil as I could have been. Don't get me wrong, I was civil during the debate, but after the debate I wasn't civil. But way before the debate, I wasn't civil. So, those are the two things I'm mainly apologizing for. I'm apologizing for, insulting the guy, and for just not being very civil in the whole debates that we had with each other. So, that's it. I'm sure a lot of people don't even know what the hell I talked about this entire video, but to the people who did, I'm sorry I didn't make this video soon. I'm sure people didn't even expect me to make this video. But, yeah, I just wanted to, make a formal apology to the guy. I apologize, and I hope we can finally bury the hatchet. So, yeah. So, those are the two things I want to talk about. Subscribe to Rags, subscribe to L1Games. They're two pretty cool people. Even though we don't agree with each other on a lot of matters, but, it is what it is. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.